as I just went live as the phone got locked into the stand. What timing, eh? And just make sure that I'm on Bluetooth. Yep, I'm going. Here I am. Hi. Hey. It is Rasco of Rasco and Disco. Let me comb my hair in the camera. Great. Yeah, this is no rough, quick start. No, this is perfectly well organised and professional. Pre-show cup of tea. Anyway, yes, how are you? Oh, right, yeah, you can't really tell me that, and there's no one here to watch just yet. But if you want to like and subscribe or leave a comment at any point you're watching this, please do. Right, what we've got today? Well, we went from several weeks of not knowing what we're doing or winging it to some extent, just reviewing beer. There's still going to be some reviewing beer. We had a great debate last week, but I'm going to be talking about, well, Camra's 50th birthday. What Camra is, what they do, just wishing them well. It was St. Patrick's Day this week. I'm going to talk what's that like. You've got any St. Patrick's Day memories? That's a big drinking event, which always makes me laugh, considering St. Patrick really didn't like drinking. It's disco. And finally, we're going to be talking about the Brewery World Cup group stages. Highly, highly important event. I've waved the disco. Oh, well, I'll invite him. Hey, Super Fred, you there? So the Brewery World Cup group stage is going on. People, if you look at time for a beer podcast. Hey.
Yes, let's go. It was quick. Got on really quick today.
Yes, you're still late, but yes, you got on really quick.
Yes, we got in pretty quickly. Anyway, how you doing, sir? Good to see you.
I'm a bit tired, but otherwise fine. My heart's beating. I was feeling actually quite knackered, and then the last 10 minutes of the France Wales game got me energised, because what a finish was that. Oh,
yeah, I heard it was a bit exciting. I wasn't watching it, but I saw the results rolling. Hey, Super Fred is in the house as well. Super. Good to see us up.
Indeed. So yeah, I'm good, but that game was something else. I don't recall seeing many games quite like that.
Yeah, I saw the second half of the
flying around.
England game as well. That was maybe slightly less exciting, but there was some good play going on, wasn't there?
No, it was terrible. It was terrible.
Cool. Well, we've got a lot to get through tonight. We've put 3 subjects up on the header, so we've got a lot to talk about. First of all, what are you drinking, sir?
Well, right. I've gone with this from Pomona Island, a pale called Facton. Judging by their current record with me, I've got high hopes. I've gone traditional favourite, a porter by my much beloved and special, not my and special.
Jolly good.
And
I don't know. You got a little bit of. You're going a bit wobbly and pixelated there. I don't know if it's you or me, but.
Possibly you, because you're fine, unfortunately.
Super Fred,
are we fine? Super Fred, are we looking fine? Anyway, I've also got this.
The American one.
Yes, I've gone back and got it, and I went and got the other one as well, because I believe they're that good. Yes, it's already got a Beer of the Year nomination. So, what are you drinking?
So I've got. I'm going to go first up. I'm going to stick with the St. Patrick's Day theme, because we were talking about it in midweek. Another one from White House. This is the Black Forest Pastry Stout. And then I think I'm going to do one from Turning Point. A nice big Imperial Stout, peanut butter and marshmallow stout, spiral static.
Nice.
Only got them in this week eventually. after a little bit of turmoil and story involving the courier smashing the box up. So this is what's left of the order, plus one or two others. Turning Point have been great. They're sending me out some more beers. I had a little bit of a rant about it in midweek in a first ever YouTube live stream, which fortunately some people saw, some people joined in live. So I've done a couple of YouTube live streams this week, which is a new little venture for us, I suppose. Hopefully see you on the live point. Maybe we'll work out how we're going to... I don't think we'll move wholesale over to YouTube. I think we need to do a little bit of both. We'll see. I've only done the two. I haven't done anything this weekend. I've been a bit quiet, so we shall see how that goes.
Indeed. Yes, I've got to confess, mate, I have not been able to watch your streams. My life is less frantic than it was last week, but it's still frantic. Hence why I look so tired.
I do the work, so fair play. It's not surprising that you're a bit busy.
Indeed.
No.
Which brings me to some news that next week, my beloved fans, I may not be with you. I mean, I'm not going to be like dead or anything, but I am required to work, and I may not make it here in time. Me and Disco are discussing what do we do, and we'll see. We don't know yet.
Yeah, we'll look into that early part of the week. I have a few ideas. You know, I'm quite shy about asking other people coming onto the stream, but there's one or two ideas that might happen. Bear with me a second. I'm just a little bit lost for words with this one.
Yeah, go ahead. Take your time.
Absolutely.
I'm just going to pour this.
So, Black Forest pastry stout. So obviously I'm expecting a big cherry kind of flavour, big chocolatey flavour. And that's exactly what I've got. As soon as I opened the can, some cherries jumped out at me and smashed me around the face.
Wow.
That's a good day. I think, I'm not too sure, I don't know how natural that cherry is. It tastes like it might be just a bit kind of syrupy. Now, some people have a problem with that. I don't necessarily, because it's a very, very intense cherry flavour, almost overrides the chocolate a little bit. But I like adjunct heavy stouts, especially. And there's a lot of cherry in that, whether it's natural cherries, and it's not bitter or sour. A lot of breweries just go easy on the cherry and just do a sour cherry. And I was once told, a brewery told me that like a Black Forest Gatter in Germany, Schwarzwald Kirschtorf, was meant to be sour cherry. Now, I'm not a big fan of sour cherry. I've always much preferred sweet cherry. And that's what this is, a nice sweet cherry flavour.
That's good.
So it's different. It's an amazing aroma and quite a good cherry. A little bit of chocolate cake, not so much on the chocolate, I think. Little bit thin and carbonated, a little bit thin and a bit fizzy. But the cherry flavour kind of overrides that for me. And this won't be to everybody's taste because of that. But I quite like that.
Okay.
I quite like that. What have you got, sir?
Well, I started on the pale. It's nice. It's good. It's not as flavoursome as the other beers I've had with them, but it's still very good. It's a very good pale. It's actually a really very, very good pale. But in some sense, Pomona Island have set a high bar for themselves. Probably why they probably will get a beer of a Brewery of the Year nomination. It's a bit misty, the drink. I did a really bad pour of it. But there is a presence in aroma. And this is my 1975 Camra glass to celebrate Camra, its 50th birthday. More on that. It's weighing at 4%. You know, it's got ingredients: water, barley, oats, wheat, hops, yeast. There's nothing out of this world in there in that agreement. This is very good. This is a really decent pale. It's not fuck me sideways though.
Yeah.
But you know, there's when you drink some pales, there's something at the back end of the taste, which I just can't put my name. Well, I just don't know how to identify it, which is really unsatisfying. I mean, it's good at the tip of your tongue in the middle, but when you swallow, there's something not there. This doesn't have that. This has a pleasant experience on all three parts of your tongue and your mouth. So I'm quite pleased with that. Yeah. Not a bad start.
Jolly good.
Not a bad start at all.
Both of us, yeah.
So, you know, we're talking about St. Patrick's Day.
Uh-huh.
It always makes me laugh that people get battered out of their brain on St. Patrick's Day, no matter what culture you are from, because St. Patrick was a deeply religious man who believed that the end of the world was going to happen. I mean, if he could see us now, he'd be surprised that the planet Earth still exists, and you know, the fact that we're getting pissed on his day.
Well, no, because I think he wouldn't have any perception of that. Well, we're talking like we know the guy. We don't know the guy.
Yes, I do know.
They say there's two things you shouldn't talk about: politics and religion, and we definitely don't do politics. So I've always ignored the religious aspects of him being a saint, because he didn't know he was a saint. I should imagine he was beatified long after his death, because normally they are. So he has no perception of that sainthood and whether he has a day named after him, because it was so long ago. So I don't think that's relevant, really. And yeah, I do agree with you about just going out and getting battered, but that's like a modern thing. People have taken like a modern interpretation of what it means and the reason for it. And we always say, like, it's always about the beer, and it always is for me on St. Patrick's Day. Not that I need an excuse to go out and get on the beer, but it's a good one as any. Do you know what I mean? I've always liked the Guinness, so it's always used to be about the Guinness. And I just like going out. So it's another good reason to do it. I don't care for the religious backstory or, you know, the other connotations of it. It's irrelevant to me. It's just about going down the pub. And it's not about needing an excuse. It just kind of justifies it. Just enjoy it, you know. But sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
No, what I was going to say was, I tell you what is different this year, not just because we're not allowed down the pub, but what's been different this year for me, and I was sort of aware of it last year, but because we was still out and about down the pub, like on St. Patrick's Day last year, I had one pint of Guinness at 10:30 and mostly deserted Wetherspoons, and that's all I had. I savoured it, I didn't labour it, and I didn't have another one because I kind of wanted to get out of the pub because nobody quite knew what was going on this time last year. It was all a bit mad. So I had that one pint of Guinness last year. But what's changed for me this year is just the appreciation and the knowledge of more beers from Ireland. Time for a Brew podcast. Thanks for popping in. Good to see you.
And we know why you're here as well, so thank you.
A bit later, we're just talking about St. Patrick's Day. You know what I was saying was, like, there's because of lockdown and because of ordering beers in, the range of Irish beers has become so much more widely available. There's so much more out there. So it's not just even about stouts. It's not just even about Irish stouts. You know, you've got you know, breweries like Whiplash, Beer Hut, More Mountains, and many others that has kind of come into more prevalence. People are more aware of them. So that's why I should have done it before, but I just had a sudden thought on Monday, well, I've seen all these Irish beers about, should get some in. And I happened to see a tweet from Trembling Madness, bottle shop up in York, which we've got to go to, by the way. I ordered from them before at Christmas. And they said that we've got all these White Hag beers in. So I thought, you know what, I'll just put an order in. I'm fairly certain. It was Monday morning or Monday lunchtime. I'm fairly certain they'll get it to me by Wednesday. I'll bang the order in, and they got it to me Tuesday afternoon. So fantastic service. A bunch of great beers. Obviously, this one. from White Hag, couple from Mourne Mountains, but I picked a couple of other stouts up as well. So we'll look into them over the coming week or so. And the big one, the mad one, I thought I'd get it in anyway, and it's kind of why I got it from Trembling Madness, because I saw it available, was this. I don't know if you saw me do this on Wednesday.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, the Shamrock Shake Ice Cream Ale. Now, I did not know, I didn't realise at the time, obviously I saw it about on Instagram and stuff, bright green beer, so I thought I'm having that. I love anything green anyway. But what I didn't realise when I bought it, because I've never seen any of the reviews, was the green comes from mint. So it's an ice cream pale ale. Odd, but enjoyable for the oddness, because I'm not a big fan of it generally, and certainly not in drinks. I really enjoyed the ice cream aspect. There was a nice creamy kind of mouthfeel to it, and it did taste like mint ice cream. Normally you get mint and chocolate ice cream, mint chocolate chip, but it was just mint ice cream. It was funny, it was odd, knackered me taste buds, so I did it, obviously doing it first probably wasn't a good idea, but I did it just for the green. Love the comment from Rob from Hopsy, he put on our Instagram, it was shit. in his typical Yorkshire bluntness, it was shit. I can see why he thinks that. It's probably, I don't know, it's probably full of like artificial flavourings and stuff. I don't know what mint they put in there, but for me it was just a bit of fun. I kind of enjoyed it. Greg Ballman summed it up the best. He said it's not the best beer in the world, but it's a lot of fun. It made me laugh, and it made me laugh too. Just really enjoyed it. So it had to be done. It was bright green, a lot of fun.
Fair play.
I think I got it in, to be fair.
Yeah. So, other thing that happened this week, it is Camra's 50th birthday. Now, about 2 years ago, I was talking to the organizer of Ealing Beer Festival, our week after the event, at the Ealing Jazz Festival, Blues Festival, sorry. And he said this would be a big year for Camra and there'd be some big ones going on. And unfortunately, none of it's happened. And yes, Ealing has announced that it won't be happening in July, but they're hoping for a alternative date and maybe a different location. Who knows? We'll keep you posted on that. That was heartbreaking, but not surprising. So we've got confirmation on that. Camra. Now, Camra. I respect Camra. I sometimes love Camra. I've praised you for 50 years of hard work and saving beer and pubs. You're in a tough battle, and I know you get slagged off a lot, and there is some criticism of your organisation, there's no doubt about it, but I think you've done a lot more good for beer and pubs and people than harm. So salute, and may you have many more happy birthdays.
Exactly, and I think you're right. It's almost a case of job done, though. Like they've got beer going around, and craft has come out of that, and obviously ale is still going. It's still out there. Cask is still going.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. But there's a lot of.
They've got to find out where next they're going to go, because it's almost job done. How are they going to move forward, and what are they going to do next? Yeah,
I don't agree with you. It is job done, because it could all collapse, and quite frankly, big corporate beer is still out there. Camra was formed in 1971 by some guys in Dublin, bizarrely. Monaco and Craft, hello. There's an Irish connection for you. And then they had several different names at first. Revisitation of beer. Because they were big. They were skeptical of corporate beer. And I think as long as corporate beer is still out there, there will always be a need for Camra. Camra recently, 2 years ago, changed its focus. It now supports Perry's, ciders, and stouts and other things. It's adapted itself, but I think it will always be there. I don't think its job will ever be done. Just make sure everyone's okay in my house. That's fine.
There's never job done with it. I think they've just got it's job done in terms of it's got beer back into the not the mainstream, but the national psyche, the national census. It's got talking about and thinking about beer again. I'm talking, 10, 20 years ago, and then again now that's developed into the craft beer scene that we've delved into in the last couple of years.
Yes. Yeah. So without further ado, unless you've got anything more to say on camera, because I don't want to keep our guest waiting, because they've come out and say hello to us, and I'm hoping they get involved in the comments. I'm talking about Yes You, Time for a Brew podcast.
Yeah.
I'm going to apologise to you right now. I've not listened to your podcast, but I will now.
Yeah, well, you're the man for going around and listening to podcasts because you have the time and trainings and whatever. I haven't. I have listened. I've dipped in and dipped out here and there. But I've noticed. I noticed it last year as well. Is their World Cup of Breweries announcement and polls. And I kind of join in. I find it a bit difficult, and I have to be honest, it sounds a bit of a Gerald Ratner kind of statement, is I really find it difficult with things like that, what's the best, and kind of choosing one over the other, especially with some of the groups that we've had, especially some of the London groups, like the one we had the other day, and there was Perivale, Signature Brew, and Anspach and Hob Day, and I retweeted and I said, I know you're going to choose Anspach and Hob Day. I'm probably bound to choose Perivale because obviously I get their beers all the time and I retweet their stuff and post their beers all the time. But Signature Brew in there as well is a difficult one because that's kind of an old favourite of ours, from way back in the day. I've had a couple of Signature Brews over lockdown.
Who won an award, a Business SIBA award this week, actually.
Thanks much.
Signature.
Yeah.
No, Signature.
Oh, Signature. Yes, Signature did. Yeah. So, I find them kind of things difficult. And the trouble I have when at Christmas when we're talking about our beer over the years, and that's why I kind of push for several different categories because I want to kind of spread it out. And I don't find any one better than the other. Or I don't know what the categories are. I don't know what the criteria are. A lot of people use different criteria. And it's interesting that obviously Time for a Brew podcast just put the options out and they divide it up, but they don't really don't tell anybody how to choose, and which is right because it's down to the individual, however you want to do it. So I find it quite difficult to choose some of them. I mean, I don't know, some regional stuff was a bit easier because some of the breweries I've not actually heard of, which makes it kind of easier because I just choose the breweries I know about or I've had beers from. But I think I kind of want to go and find out about the breweries I don't know about. So it's just basically getting breweries' names out there.
Yes, it is.
Some of the London choices were quite hard because obviously we're London-based, so we kind of know about those breweries a bit more. I'm a bit confused, and maybe I've missed something. I was a bit surprised to not see a few breweries there. In some ways, I think it's good. Certain breweries weren't there, like Cloudwater. I don't see them in any of the groups. Cloudwater were in one of the groups, in one of the regional groups, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, well, fairly certain. Fairly certain.
Group C, Group D, which one?
I don't know because I haven't got a list of them. I didn't get because there's quite. I've just been scrolling through, but I've not written down a separate list of them. Unfortunately, but I'm sure
Lucy, we're fine, by the way.
Oh, hello. And a lovely human, and yourself, Lucy. Cheers. We're doing all right.
We're just on the Brewery World Cup. I've got a list here, mate. I'm scrolling through the tweets now. I can maybe go through it because I don't see the Cloudwater. I think maybe they're in the original, but I don't think they're in the group stages now. Time for a Brew podcast. This is where you intervene and say, guys, wake up, here it is.
I'm fairly certain Cloudwater. I can't believe Cloudwater's not there. I mean, obviously, again, it's based on the knowledge of brewery, because there's so many breweries. I mean, there's 2,000 odd breweries or whatever, so you can't put all of them necessarily into the group stages. So it's whoever's drawing up the list is their awareness, because, I mean, we're going to say there was no Mad Yank. There was Perivale, but no Mad Yank, my other local brewery. So next year I'll be chucking that in the mix, you know. Right, here we go.
Here we go.
There was a huge
comment from.
Right, yeah, Blackjack knocked Cloudwater out. I definitely saw Cloudwater in the mix.
Right. But are they in the group stages now? Because I don't think they're on group stages.
No, so it was the first. It was the highest vote went through. Right. So Blackjack will be in there, as I understand it from that quote. Cheers for clarifying that for us.
Just to read the comment for people watching us later. Comment is there was a huge KO in the qualifiers. Blackjack rallied for troops to knock them out. There you go. The huge media machine that Cloudwater does have, they even have their own podcast, did not succeed against Blackjack. And I've got to say, I don't know who Blackjack are.
No, I've seen the cans about. It's not one I've got around to getting hold of. But yeah, no, I've seen Blackjack. Some interesting stuff. But again, because I say there's so many breweries out there, and I would say probably 75-80% of the breweries on the list on the polls, I am at least aware of. Certainly the ones that have gone through, even if I don't know about years.
I find this quite exciting, though. I will confess I don't know every brewery, and I think that's good because it just introduced me to the name of the brewery.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, let's start with the group stages. All votes for this must be done by the 20th of this month of March by 12 p.m. Group A. Here we go.
Right, so this is the next round you're looking at, yeah?
This is the Group A stage, mate.
Okay.
This is the groups.
Yeah.
It's the groups. And from what I understand, if I get this wrong, time for a beer brew podcast, just yell at us. It's not like in a World Cup where two people go through in a group. Only one goes through in a group. So, Group A is Track Brew Co.
Yeah.
Vibrant Forest and Likely Brewery and Wildness Beers.
Yeah, Ilkley Brewery up in near Leeds.
Yeah.
Ilkley, yeah.
I know of Vibrant Forest. I've had a few beers. I think they're probably most likely to go through, but only because they're the only ones I recognise. And that's that group. Group B, New Barnes Brewery, Exclusive Brew, Lackade Brew, and Tempest Brew.
Right. So, do you want to go through them and say who you would vote for? Because some of them, I haven't voted, because obviously I've seen them, so I voted for some of them, but I wanted to hold a couple back just to see what you said. So we've got an hour to still vote. So bear with me a sec. Let me just get up to it, because I was scrolling down to look at I was looking at the group stages first. So Group A, what would you vote for from Group A?
Now I'm confused. I've scrolled down because there was a graph with some percentage of voters, and the Group A is just totally different to the Group A I've just read out.
No, because there was Group A in the regional qualifiers, and this is Group A in the next lot. So Group A in the, I guess, is it quarterfinals? Whatever the next round is. Group A is Track, Vibrant Forest, Ilkley, and Wilderness.
Right. Yes. Okay. I hope that's correct.
Yes.
If not, here we go. In the Group B I just read out, I don't know. I confess I know them.
Right. So New New Barnes are fairly new brewery up in Leith in Edinburgh, and there's a couple of people who were at. I think they were at Colonel. I think they come from Colonel, and they
Really?
I think so. And they've opened a new brewery up in Edinburgh. Elusive Brew are neighbours of Siren. They're on the same trading estate as Siren Craft, so they collab quite a lot with Siren. Their beers are fairly elusive to me. I've seen a couple. I've not quite got around to getting a full order out of them. I must admit, Lacada and Tempest I don't actually know. At the moment, we voted for Elusive because I've probably more aware of their beers than New Barnes. New Barnes, I think you can get New Barnes at Art and Craft. I think I've had some in or can get. I'm sure I've seen them on Instagram. But at the moment, Elusive Brewing are leading that one at 41.5%.
Wow. Okay, that's great. I'm glad you can see that. I can't. Lacardia, you know what? I have. Yeah. Lacardia, I can. I've seen Dragon and probably have had, but nothing springs to mind thinking about it. Moving on to Group C.
Group C is the group of death for me. I haven't voted on this one yet because I really don't know what to do about it.
You're not wrong. It is a group of death. Quite frankly, Pressure Drop, Turning Point, Drygate, and Loss Brewery. I got to admit, I don't know them.
No, Leon C.
Leon C.
Yeah. So there's a guy we follow on Twitter who's just gone to work for them, and a name escapes me, but I don't know their beers. I think we follow them on Twitter. So the difficult point for me is Drygate and Turning Point. I've ordered quite a lot in the last year. I really like Drygate. They're up in Glasgow, and their original and still their core beer is Disco Forklift Truck. So that's what caught my attention. And I got 4 beers out of them in the summer as part of the Disco collection because they had 4 beers with Disco in them, plus a hot sauce. They've been a bit quiet of late. They've got a bit quiet over Christmas. They were bringing 2 or 3 beers out a month, which was draining my bank account, but really enjoyed the beers. Turning Point, they do a similar thing. They bring out, they've got a core range, Disco King being one of them, so put that in a Disco collection as well. But they brought out quite a lot of beers. Obviously, as I said, I've got Turning Point tonight. That's the new beers they brought. They just brought out a range of custard beers, and I saw one last year that I did get Yellow Matter Custard, just a chocolate and custard stout, but they've also got a raspberry and custard pale ale, which unfortunately UPS smashed up, so I didn't get any of them, but they're sending me some back. Craig Kent Beer Reviews popping in, and Beer Club as well. Good.
Yeah.
So yeah, between Turning Point and Drygate, I'm a little bit of a loss in that group, and I know you're going to go Pressure Drop in that group, aren't you?
It's a bit of a tough one. I got my introduction to Turning Point at the Ealing Beer Festival with Bamboozle.
Yeah, Bamboozle. Milk Foley, we had that one there.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know if you can do that. Which is now available in Sainsbury's and off their website, so I've got a couple of them in. So,
nice. And Pressure Drop in the last round eliminated 5 points, and that was a group of death as well. I mean, you're in a group with Pressure Drop and five points. Ouch. Quite frankly, be tough. I'm leaning a little more to Pressure Drop on this.
How do we decide that one? Because I know you want to go Pressure Drop, and I want Turning Point or Drygate. Apologies to Leon C.
You can decide whatever you want, mate, because I'm just going to put in my own vote like I did for Anne's match, okay?
Yeah, you can go on your own one, so yeah. I'm probably going to go. I think I have to go Drygate, seeing as Drygate was one of my beer of the years last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The Double Orange was my beer of the year last year, so as much as I get we have good conversations with the guys from Turning Point. I did a good live stream with them over the summer, but Yeah, because of Beer of the Year, and I do love Turning Point beers, I'm clicking Drygate. Guess who's winning that group, Rasco?
Pressure Drop.
Drop, yeah. I'm a big fan of the underdog, so that's probably why I do that. Right, what do you reckon for Group D then?
Right, Kent Beer review. We're doing the Brew World Cup. If you got any thoughts and ideas on it, don't know if you're following it. Group D is Chapter Brewing, Mad Squirrel Brewing, Wild Weather Ales, and Dark Star Brew Co. I've never heard of Chapter.
No, me neither, I must admit. A little bit of a group of death there because I got Mad Squirrel in the other week, so I love Mad Squirrel beers. Della Whip up there. Wild Weather is another one I really want to get in, and I've not quite got around to it. Dark Star. Again, I didn't actually get their beers. I was going to get a 6-pack of creme brulee from them because I love that creme brulee beer that they have.
Yeah, good one. For me, it's between Dark Star and Mad Squirrel, simply because of awareness. Wild Weather Ales, I don't recall. Chapter, sorry, I've not heard of you. I'm leaning a little more towards Mad Squirrel on that.
Well, I actually went with Mad Squirrel on that one, and at the moment, Dark Star 1.5% in the lead. So it's between Mad Squirrel and Dark Star on that one. So see what happens for the rest of the evening.
Group E, Briz Beer Factory, Beers of Mod, Donzucco Beers, Rocco Pardo Brew. I hope I've said that right.
I can't find Group E. Where's Group E?
Where are you reading from? I'm reading from Twitter.
I'm reading from Twitter.
Yeah, well, there you go, mate. I don't get any graphs on where I'm looking, so I don't know where in the thread you're looking, mate. And voting for this group finishes at the 22nd of this month at 12 p.m. I got to admit, I don't have huge awareness. I know of Don Zucco, but I haven't had a huge amount from them. In fact, sometimes I've gone right past them. The last beer of theirs I can recall having was a Vienna lager.
Yes, in the purple can.
Kent is saying St. Mars of the Desert.
Yeah, so I'm aware of them. I've got beers in there from Sheffield. So I think it's a husband and wife team in Sheffield is Mod. What were the other two in that group?
It was Briz Beer Factory, sorry. Beers of Mod and probably Bristol Beer Factory, where it just says Briz Beer Factory. Roccapello Bardo Brew.
How do you spell it?
Rock Leopard. That's how it is.
Oh, Rock Leopard. Yeah. Rock Leopard was in a playoff, I think, against Beavertown and beat Beavertown.
Really?
I wasn't aware that Rock Leopard was a London brewery. I thought they was up north, but apparently they're in London.
Craig and Lucy are saying hello. Kent neighbours. Hello.
I think that's how we was introduced, because those two know each other and we was talking about the live stream. So it's nice. Cheers, both of you. Thanks for popping on.
Cheers. I hope you're well. I've got to admit, Lucy, I was scrolling through your photos and you've been to some massive gigs. I even liked a few of your photos. Very, very cool stuff. Thank you. Good stuff. You're actually putting social media to good use. I congratulate you on that.
Well, I like to think we are as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh, which reminds me, I don't know if I said earlier, but I want to say thanks to Time for a Brew podcast, A, for popping in, and B, for retweeting
Thank you.
I was going to talk about this, so thank you for that. I've run out of group. I've run out of groups.
I don't know. Right. Well, Group F is the next one, and my mate, this is this group is tough. Okay, you ready?
Go on.
Group F: Wiper and True.
Oh yeah.
Camper Van Brew.
Yep.
Big Smoke Brew. Weird Beard.
Wow. So that's probably the first group where all 4 breweries I'm aware of and have had beers from. So Wiper and True, we focused on. We had a Wiper and True like the other Christmas, didn't we? The Christmas before. You was talking about it last week. The plum beer. So they're in Bristol, and their milk stout is probably one of the best milk stouts in the cans. So we featured them a couple of times. Weird Beard, another almost local brewery to me over in Ealing, in Hanwell. Got an order from them, so I know their beers pretty well. Sorry, what was the other 2? Big Smoke.
Yeah, Big Smoke.
Yeah, so we know Big Smoke. They got half a dozen pubs, including that one we went to in central London. That time, the Lyric. Is it the Lyric? I think that's a Big Smoke.
Yes. Is it Big Smoke?
I think so. There's definitely so they've got about 6 brew pubs. One's in Kingston that we go to, the Albert. There's one down like Leatherhead Way, down into Surrey and Hampshire. So I was trying to do it like if we can do like a whole day out and do all 6 in one day would be fun. Until what happened. So yeah, we know Big Smoke. We've had a couple of their beers, although I haven't had an order from them during lockdown. The other 3 I had. What was the 4th one in that group?
Weird Beard.
No, the other one, the second one.
Camper Van.
So Camper Van, they had a thing on a craft beer hour on Twitter on Tuesday night, and I got their 6-pack in. So they're up in Leith, in Edinburgh again. Hey, Raggy, thanks for popping in. Good to see you. So Craig from Kent Beer Reviews, he says he's going with Weird Beard for that one. I think we went with Weird Beard on that one. No, I went with Weird Beard in the qualifiers, so I haven't actually seen that group up yet. I would probably would I go Weird Beard? Again, it's my local brewery, so probably Wiper and True are probably the biggest of those 4, maybe, in terms of output. Maybe.
Possibly, yeah. I don't know Dan, sorry to say. But the other 3 I do know very well, and this is the toughest group I've come across so far.
Yeah.
Voting for this group concludes on the 23rd of this month at 12 p.m. Because the date is changing, but I keep saying that. I'm leaning a little more to Wiper and True. Yeah, tough one.
Yeah, I can see that. Like I say, I think they're probably the larger of those 4. Oh, sorry to hear that, Lucy. No charging on the phone. Get it charged up, pop back in and say hello. We always value your input and questions, and good to see you. So
always a pleasure, Lucy.
I agree with you. Wiper and True probably, but I'm leaning towards Weird Beard. This is the trouble. We say that's probably another group of death for me because I'm aware of all 4 of those breweries, and I've had orders from. Well, I've had direct orders from two of them, and I've had a couple of Wiper and True. I think their milk stout was off a Beer 52 box last year. See you again soon, Lucy. Cheers for popping in. Superb.
Group G.
Okay.
Signcraft.
Yeah.
Burnt Mill.
Oh, you know a bit about it. Yeah.
Yep. Ozzetto Brewery and Phantom Brew Co.
Right.
Ozzetto. OSSETT.
Oh, Ossett. That's another Yorkshire brewer. I think they're up Wakefield. Ossett Brewery. They had I know Ossett Brewery because when we was in Liverpool, they had a really good chocolate orange stout, but it was from a brewery they owned, Voodoo Brewery, I think. So I know Ossett, and again, I've seen their cans out and about on Twitter, but I'm not ordered from them. Yeah, that's quite a tough group as well. What would you go for on that one?
Yeah. Oh, mate, I couldn't split hairs on it.
Crazy on Siren Craft, I think. Probably the biggest of that group. Probably,
burnt meal, not to be underestimated.
No,
I'm going to apologise. I'm going to apologise to the other two. I don't know you. Sorry. What
was the fourth one? And
Phantom Brewco.
Phantom are quite a small brewery out in Berkshire. I'm sure they collabed with Siren, or maybe it was Elusive. It's out Reading way. So I'm aware of Phantom. Again, not actually got any of their beers in. But yeah, I think probably Siren on that one for me, because they bring out a lot of good stuff. I had quite a few orders from Siren.
We should ring a bell when I agree with you, because I'm going to go with that as well.
It's a rare occasion that we agree, isn't it? We said this earlier. See, it gets harder and harder as you go further through this competition. Do you know?
Yes.
Do you know last year? Do you know who won it last year?
Pilot and Siren Craft got.
Yeah. Good shout.
Yeah. So, moving to Group H. London Beer Factory. Blackjack Beer, also known as the Cloudwater.
Yeah.
The Green Duck Brew. And some brewery, I don't know, you might have heard of this one. Magic Rock.
That's an interesting one in there, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm going to apologise to Blackjack and Green Duck. I don't know you. Sorry.
Yeah, I know.
I look forward to getting to know you.
They're quite. They got some quite colourful, arty cans. Green Duck. Green Duck are also in the Midlands there somewhere. I think they're Coventry. They just did a canning line with Twisted Wheel, I think. Kimberly on Instagram, craft beer pinup. She had a chat with Green Duck, but again, I don't know them too well.
Please, people who are still watching, comments, keep them, please. Right. On this one, for me, it's between London Beer Factory and Magic Rock.
Well, Factory, you can't go Magic Rock, can you? You're not allowed to go Magic Rock.
No.
Well, you are, but
ding, 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 ding. Twice this evening.
Yeah.
Right. Group I. Marble Brewer.
Oh yeah.
Little Earth Project.
Oh yeah.
Boundary Brewing and Two Tribe Brewing.
What was the third one? Sorry, what was the third one in the middle?
Boundary.
Yeah, Boundary. I don't know too well. I'm aware of their name. Two Tribes I ordered from over lockdown.
Okay, so for me, I know of Little Earth Project. I've been aware of them, and I've been desperately trying to get well, I haven't been desperately, but I've been very keen to get some beer of theirs. Haven't had a sample. They have a campsite near their brewery, by the way. I'm aware of it. Yeah. Yes. Two Tribes. I got my first taste of Two Tribes now 2 years ago. They had a Jamaican stout, I believe, in the art and craft, and it was unreal. You couldn't get enough of it.
Okay.
And the art and craft has been pulling well, floorboards off trying to get more of this drink, but apparently they don't do it anymore. They won't do it anymore. Marble brewers, I'm quite aware of and very much like. I've even listened to a few interviews of them. Actually, I've listened to one interview of them on Hopinions, and it was a great classic, just great, good. Craig is going into Littleworth project. Could you elaborate why, mate?
I'm not surprised by that, to be fair. Yeah, heard a lot of good things about Littleworth project, but like you say, Rasco, we haven't quite got round to it. I probably should go to Tribes because of Roller Disco, another one out of the disco collection that I got in. And that was a really nice pale ale. It was laced through with lime, which was an odd flavour, but really nice. So I probably should go for them. I think out of that one, out of that group, I'd probably go Marble, even though I haven't had any in over lockdown. But I have had a couple of their beers. Upper Helen Narton is a really, really nice stout. Had that in Manchester. So I'd probably go Marble, yeah. I want to get some Marble in at some point.
Big cask lovers, Marble. Really big cask lovers.
We had Marble at GBBF last time. I was looking over some of our old YouTube videos when I put that live stuff up in the week. And we was talking about a Marble beer that we had. It might have just been the Manchester Bitter, actually, I think.
Yes. I remember that, yeah. And this is very bizarre, 3 times a new record. I'm going to agree with you.
3 times in one day? What's going on?
Yeah, I know, mate. I think the heavens are about to open up.
Got the bell.
No, I do. I like, really do like Marble. For what they do, they are big cask heads as well. And then they're on my list to visit. To be honest, what's Craig saying? Not had much from them LEP, but great brew. Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, good things. I've seen a couple of good interviews with them. They do some really good, like, wild fermented stuff, and they got a really old brewery as well, like, and some really old brewing equipment. They do some really good, interesting stuff. I just haven't sort of seen them that readily available, kind of over this way, and I don't know if they have a direct ordering thing or not. I'm not sure, but that's one to check out definitely, especially if we can get up that way. Especially if they got the campsite next to the brewery. I've been up that way. I went to Sudbury, and I think they're a little bit further than a place called Sudbury in Suffolk, just away the other side of Ipswich. So that's definitely one to look out for. Might do that next year, maybe.
It's a good thing they've got a campsite because, you know, someone has to be a designated driver to get there.
No, because I think, unless you go on the train, I think you can go on the train to Sudbury and get up from there, get the bus or whatever. It's not that difficult. Yeah, but it would be helpful if you're driving home in the morning, it don't matter, does it? Hey, Harry Blue, News. Good evening, sir. Good evening. Thanks for popping in.
Evening.
Just running through breweries over on Twitter's Brewery World Cup of Breweries 2021. What did you decide that group, Rasco? What did you go on that group?
Marble.
Yes, Harry Little is in that group. So you've gone. Yes, exactly, Kent. Eco Beer is over that way. Hopefully pop into a beer at some point. So you're going Marble, Rasco, yeah?
Yes, I am. Ding 3 times.
Agreed, yeah. Fair play. All right. Group?
All right. Group J, Wander Beyond. Beer Nuance.
Beer Nouveau, yeah.
Yes.
Very prevalent on Twitter. Do a lot of kind of fairly small batch beers. They're in Manchester. They've got a tap room. Quite a lot of documentation this week about clearing out the beer garden so they can open up again. Very interesting guy runs that and does a lot of like old school beers.
Whoa! Hold the press. Blue Nose Beer Review is saying, I think they closed their pub and the campsite was sold. Are you referring to Littleworth project?
That's Littleworth, yeah. I heard about the pub situation. No, that's right. Yeah, I wasn't aware of the campsite until Rasco just said about it. But well, they're still going though. Obviously, the brewery itself is still going. Just they were attached to a pub.
Right.
So again, one to check out once we get back out and about. Yeah, so
Indeed.
I'm in the next group.
Yeah. So and the next two are We Are Bad Co. and Salvion Brewery. Or Salpain. Salopain.
Salopian.
Salopian, there you go.
Salopian, yeah. Salop, as in the county name for Shropshire, so they're around Shrewsbury way.
Right. Okay.
They're one that's kind of come from a very real ale background, but are very well regarded in the area. I think we've had Salopian quite a few times at GBBFs along the way.
I'm liking the sound of them. I don't know.
Yeah. What was the second one after Beer Nouveau?
We Are Bad.
We Are Bad. Oh, Bad Bruco.
We Are Bad Co. That's
okay,
what
Bad Co.
We Are Bad.
Again, I can't find them on. I was scrolling down on Twitter, but I got lost after Group D. Incidentally, Time for a Brew podcast. I've sent us a message on Twitter. A phone decided to drop out, but hopefully we'll be watching back. So if you are watching back after the event, thanks for popping in. Thanks for retweeting us. We're enjoying just going through the groups and deciding what we're going to vote for when the time comes. So thanks for that. As I said, it's kind of difficult. I always find it difficult, these kind of things, like how to decide, how to vote on who I know and what beers I've had. But that's the only way to do it.
If you're still there, Kent and Blue Nose, I'm glad two big brain beer heads are here and give us some comments and feedback, because there's a couple I do not know. I don't know anyone in that group drinking any of them, Your Honour. So
I'd probably go Beer Nouveau on that one, even though I haven't had any of their beers. But just from what I've seen on Twitter, very knowledgeable person brewing some. I think they do a lot of kind of like old school beers, like old recipes. They were doing a smoked. I think it was a smoked porter doing this week.
Yeah.
Whenever we get back to Manchester, it's one to look into.
Yes, I'm going to have to pass on that group. I don't know.
Fair play. See, that's what it's good for. Just finding out about new breweries and smaller breweries that you don't necessarily know too much about.
Absolutely. Group K, Lost and Grounded.
Oh, yeah.
71 Brewing. Farmageddon Beer. Williams Brewery. Hey, Lucy's back.
Lucy's back, and Sarah's popped in as well. Good to see you. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Yeah, so 71 Brewing, I'd probably have to go for them in that group because I've ordered from them quite a few times. They're up in Dundee. Breakfast Toast is my favourite of theirs. Very, very good breakfast stout. Only in 330 cans, sadly, but Lost and Grounded. Lost and Grounded is another one that was one to watch for last year. And I had, I think, a couple of theirs. But then I always impression that they're fairly kind of towards lager, craft lager, right, which is not a bad thing. I'll always try them. But they don't sort of pique my interest as much as a lot of other people do.
You can vote for these groups, and every group from Group I upwards. Closing for the votes stops at 24th of this month at 12 p.m.
Oh, right.
So it's gone. Yeah. So I'm going to pass on that. Out of fairness, I don't know them. I think I've had Farmageddon. I think so, but I can't be sure. So I'm gonna pass.
Yeah.
Anyone comments who has got any knowledge? Let us know. This is really, oh God, I've just looked at the other group. Oh dear. Group L. Goose Island Brewery.
Goose Island?
Wild Horse. Yep, Goose Island. No, Goose Eye. Let me just confirm that. No, Goose Eye. It's called Goose Eye.
It must be Goose Island.
Goose Eye. I've just clicked on the link. It is Goose Eye. Goose Eye Brewery, Wild Horse Beer, Neo Raptor Brew, and Fine Ales.
Right. That's quite difficult. Fine Ales, again, really well regarded. I have not actually had any of them. Jarl is their big one, and I've not actually had any of them. Again, I haven't ventured that far north. I think I could order direct from them, but I just haven't. What was the other ones?
Wild Horse and Neo Raptor Beer.
Neo Raptor in Nottingham, where Raggy is. I got a Neo Raptor in this week. I've not done anything direct. They sort of struggled early on in lockdown. They didn't really get any beers out. They sold out fairly quickly. So I got I think it was a peanut butter cluster one of theirs. Again, I got it in that order from Trembling Madness. So I'm looking forward to trying.
Yeah, fair enough. Fine Ales I've heard of, and I don't know the others. I'm going to confess. And out of fairness, I think I've had Wild Horse. I think I have. I'm just clicking on the links to the others. I'm just scrolling through. There we go. No, I don't know the others, so I'm going to have to pass on that. And I'm looking at Group M. Group M voting now concludes for them on the 26th of this month at 12 p.m. All right. Here we go. Harvestone Brew.
Harvestone. I think they're a Scottish brewery.
Harvestone, yeah.
I've just caught up. I've just found out where you are. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Kiswick Brewery.
Keswick, yeah, in the Lake District.
Boxcar Brew.
Yeah.
Full Circle Brew.
Yeah, so Boxcar, I didn't realise Boxcar are a London brewery.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that, but they're over Tottenham Hackney way, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Full
I've had
Circle.
a few of their cans.
Yeah.
They're very good.
They're double mild at the moment, look really good on it. I'll try and get hold of that. Full Circle, I got water out of up in the northeast, up in Newcastle. To Newcastle, check out Full Circle's tap room. Had some good, including a really good collab with 71 Brewing. They did a really good brown ale, American brown ale. So I'd probably go Full Circle in that group because I don't really know that many Harvestone I've seen and heard of. I don't know so much about the other two, apart from maybe Boxcar. So I'll go Full Circle there.
Keswick is ringing a bell, to be honest. I think I've had them in the Dragon, but I can't independently verify that. Boxcar, I'm leaning towards too, but I don't want to cast a vote on it. Out of fairness, to be fair.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Oh my God! There's one I haven't seen for a while in Group N. All right, you know which one I'm on about as well.
Yeah.
It's not the first one I'm going to mention. Pentwich Brewing. BTR Brew Co.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Then 10 by Brewing Co.
10B in South London.
Yep. And Saltaire. Yeah, Saltaire Brewing. For Group N, I'm going with Saltaire. I've had a few of their beers back at GBBF fucking fantastic. And I think at the Becknam Beer Festival as well. I do see them on the Camra circuit a fair bit. No, very good.
So I don't know about BTCL. Apparently they're called By the River Brewing. They're up in Gateshead in Newcastle. 10B I've seen, but I haven't got any of their beers in. They've just gone into cans recently. They're in 10B's just the other side of, well, this side of Swansea on the Welsh coast. Pentrick is another one I really want to get in. They've got some really good cans. They're just really simple, fairly bright coloured cans. I don't know, because I haven't had any of the other three, I'd probably have to go Solitaire on that one.
Yeah. I don't, out of fairness, I wouldn't want to, but I do like them. I do like them a bit. Ding.
Just down the road from Rob from Hopsy. He lives near Solitaire, I believe he said on the stream the other day.
Group O.
Yeah.
And by the way, this goes all the way to Z.
I don't know. We're just going to carry on reading them all out. I mean, I don't know whether this is entertaining or interesting or not, but it is to us. So hopefully everybody else will as well.
All right. Well, if we ain't got anything to say, we ain't got anything to say. Group O.
Yeah.
NMBC. No, NMB Co.
It's Northern Monk. Northern Monk.
Really?
Monk. Thanks, Lucy. Cheers. Yeah, Northern Monk.
Thank you.
It's weird they do that. They put that on their Twitter handle as just NMB Co. So it's kind of odd not to have the name on it, to be fair, but it's their choice. So know about Northern Monk.
Burning Soul Brew. All Mastery Brew.
I presume it's Almond. I don't know.
And Stewart Brewing.
I think that's a fairly easy one. I think that's got to be Northern Monk, isn't it?
Well, they're the ones I've heard of, but I don't really like to cast a vote when I've not heard of the others.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm leaning towards Northern Monk. Group.
Go on, sorry. Yeah, go on. Group P.
Group P. Orbital Beers.
This is a killer group.
Yeah. Fierce Beer, Hamilton Brew, and Brew by Numbers. That is a group of death.
I don't know how they've done the decisions on that one, but 3 London breweries in there is 3 fairly well known London breweries, and Fierce Beer, well known Irish brewery. Bring it. I don't know what I'd like to do on that one. Hamilton is one I have to apologise for. I always assumed I'd get Hamilton in because of Crunch, and I didn't even get the Imperial version of Crunch, the chocolate. It was a Crunchier, it's called. It's an Imperial version of Crunch. Brew by Numbers. I've ordered direct from Brew by Numbers. They got some good stouts going on. We got them. Well, we did that one, the Bimble one, didn't we? The whiskey barrel one.
Yeah.
Orbit beers. I got. They were another one featured on Craft Beer Hour on Tuesday night on Twitter, and their sour. I'm not a big sour fan, but that was an amazing beer. Really amazing sour yogurt. Really, really odd flavour, but really nice.
Lucy's voting for Brew by Numbers.
I think anybody. I think that's going to be a really close group. That I think that could be like 25, 26% kind of splits. Oh, it should be. That is a tough group. That is. But then if you're from London, I think if you're from London, you might be less likely to heard of Fierce Beer in Scotland. So it's going to favour maybe one of the London breweries in that group. I don't know.
Fierce Beer do have a presence on the Bermondsey Beer Bar, I believe.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I think it's not going to come down to that. It's going to come down to the marketing machine, the social media marketing machine of each brewery, and how badly they want to win. If they know this is happening and if they're interested in winning it, you'll see. But that is the toughest group by far.
Yeah.
That we've seen this evening.
Well, I don't know. I've just seen what's coming up. I've just seen what's coming up. So.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I've had a look as well. Yeah. All right. Let's move on to that group Q.
On that one, are we agreeing to abstain on that one?
No. I'm going to go with. I'll go with Orbital.
Orbit. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm abstaining because I just don't know. Do you know what? I'm going to fill my glass up. I haven't had a drink like 15, 20 minutes.
Jesus Christ, mate.
We're too busy talking. My glass is empty. I've just realised. I filled it up. Go on.
I'm on the second drink.
Oh yeah.
Second, right. Group, yeah, on the porter. This is a really good porter as well.
You're on the porter. Okay. Well, I've gone on to the 10% turning point spiral static.
Nice.
Peanut butter marshmallow stout.
Yeah. Group Q, Buxton Brewery, Salt Beer Factory, Vocational Brewery, Mondo Brewery.
That's quite a tough group. They're all very well known and established breweries there.
Yeah.
Buxton. Salt is another one in Saltaire.
Yeah.
Open Saltaire. I would probably favour Vocation because of the amount of big stouts and stuff coming out of Vocation at the moment. Buxton, well-known craft brewery, but they a lot of dippers and IPAs, so I'm less looking at them. And they do big beers as well.
Yeah.
Salt in supermarkets quite a lot these days. And Mondo's quite a well-known brewery. They do some good stuff.
I'm going to be honest, I don't know. I'm split between Salt and Vocational.
Yeah, definitely Vocation, probably. That's interesting. Oh, there's a lot of peanut butter there at the end. There's a strange taste at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's quite thin initially, but then it thickens up into a really interesting peanut butter flavour.
Really?
Not too much chocolate. That's an odd one, that is.
Wow. Beer of the year contender?
Not unpleasant. Not unpleasant. I'm not sure where the marshmallow is, although there's a lot of sweetness to it. Peanut butter. Yeah, there's more of a, like some peanut butter flavoured stuff, you just sort of get a rough kind of nutty kind of note. That's more like actual peanut butter. Not too much on the marshmallow. There's definitely a sweetness to it, but it's not really marshmallow sweet. And there's a kind of salty kind of peanut butter aftertaste as well, which again is not unpleasant. It's a little bit surprising. It's kind of salty butteriness on the lips.
Wow.
It's that beginning taste I don't get. I don't know what it is. It's not unpleasant. It's just kind of... It's not very distinct.
Interesting.
A decent imperial stout. So, anyway, go on. Then what are we on to? So we sort of agreeing on that one, but not quite.
Yeah. Who do you think's going to win it though?
What, that group or the whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
That group. I think probably Vocation. I think they're probably with Buxton nipping at the heels. I think in terms of breweries that people know about because of like Vocation being in supermarkets a lot at the moment. I mean, Buxton are as well.
Group R, a Vault City Brew, Sin Digger Beer, Glass House Beers, and I'm going to be honest, I think the winner of this group is Daya, and potentially a winner of the competition.
Do you know what? I think just because of, I think Vault City will give them a big run for their money because Vault City, it's an odd one because they only seem to do sours, as far as I can tell, they only do them in 750 bottles, which is an odd market to go for. But obviously, they're doing sours, and they're doing a lot of very good sours. And even some of their sours, I look at and go, I'd like to try that, because they do some big, like flavoured sours, fruited sours. So yeah, I think probably Daya. Again, I haven't had any Daya. Again, it's a bit of a Gerald Ratner thing to say. I kind of stay away from Daya because of the hype, because they're mostly different beers and IPAs and stuff. And as far I always thought they were quite overpriced, but I'm not sure. I did look at them the other day, and I thought they were quite reasonably priced, to be fair. Although we don't normally mention price too much. But yeah, I think Dale will probably win that, but Vault City will run them fairly close, I think. Shindig, as a brewery from Manchester, I've wanted to get in. They have a good mango pale ale. Well, it looks like a good mango pale ale, and I've never quite got around to processing the order. Have to admit, I've not heard of Glasshouse, so they're kind of the dark horse in there. That group.
I agree with you there. I agree with, well, was it 4th or 5th time tonight? I think Day is going to win it. Vault City is going to give them a run for their money. I think they are our potential winners of the competition, if I'm honest. But it really depends on that marketing machine of theirs. You know?
Tell you what I haven't seen. You're talking about breweries I haven't seen, and I might get caught out with this because it'll be coming up. I haven't seen Verdun in the mix. Maybe they didn't get through. Maybe they didn't get through the qualifiers.
Send a message to the people who are doing this, Time for Brew podcast, and ask them. Send a message.
I'll have to look. Anyway, sorry, it's just because we were talking about Verdun. I think Dayard and Verdun I always put kind of together. Anyway, crack on.
Group S, Pilot Beer Co., Pomona Island, Glam Brewing, and Hawkshead Brews. I'm going with Pomona Island on that. No hands down. Pilot Beer Co. won last year's World Cup brew.
Yes, and reigning champions. Again, I think Pomona Island are probably a good shout for being in somewhere near at least the final four. Glambrewing, I think, is Glamorgan Brewery, who do a really good Welsh cake stout, what I've not quite got around to getting in. Hawkshead, are they the ones we don't talk about? Are they the ones that sacked a load of brewers? Oh, my bloody internet has gone down. I would go. I think I would. I know. I understand why you're saying the one you're voting for, but I think I'd go the other way on that group.
Pilot. I think Pilot, if they won it last year, they can win it again.
Yeah. Well, they could be there or thereabouts. I think that's between those two, probably.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's between those two. I don't know anything about that Hawkshead Brewing sacking business, so I can't comment.
I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me. I might have got that. The name is Hawk something. I think it is. I think it is. I think it's when the brewers. Sorry. I think it's the brewers just started. They've just started their own brewery over in the Lake District.
Right. Group T, Overtone Brewing. Now, I want to see the stats on this, of who wins this group. This has got my interest. Timmy Taylor.
Wow, yeah.
Red Willow Brew.
Uh-huh.
And some brewery in Wales called Tiny Rebel.
Tiny Rebel. That is an interesting group. That's quite a diverse split, especially with Timothy Taylor's in there, who are obviously a very popular brewery. Very much more real ale craft, I would say, but very, very interesting. I mean, Tiny Rebel had a big resurgence, a big sweep last year. They were very, very popular. Again, the Stay Puffed. And I think Harry was talking about that on his stream the other night. I was like, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't Harry. Anyway, I saw somebody talking about Tiny Rebel, like basically from Stay Puffed. it was like they've sort of kicked on from that, but they've had their issues, been called out a few times on Twitter and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think probably Overtone on that one. I think Timmy Taylor's are clearly the biggest brewery there, but I don't think they'll kind of like, because again they've had their problems and have fallen out of the industry a little bit over the SDPR thing. I think Overtone probably the favourite. The dark horses are Red Willow, and I have seen Red Willow. They've got a bunch of cans, and a lot of their beers end in the word less. So it's like relentless, fearless, sleepless. I think they've got a coffee porter called Sleepless.
Yeah.
So I want to get their beers in. Again, I haven't quite got around to it. So I think it's between Overtone and Red Willow there, probably. I would go Red Willow, but I think Overtone would probably nick that one, maybe. I don't know. What do you think?
I think you might have a point that with recent events of Tiny Rebel getting some bad press, they might lose that one. I'm shocked to see Timothy Taylor in this.
Yeah, I don't know who they beat to get through.
Yeah.
I missed most of the groups.
Yeah. Red Willow Brew, I don't know them, sorry. I think Overtone are going to take it. Ding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Group U. Purity Yale, or something like that.
Purity, yeah, they're down your way, Purity, aren't they?
Are they?
Yeah, I think so.
I know of them, but I don't know that much about them. Hackney Brewery, all heard of them.
Yeah.
Kirkstall Brew.
Yeah.
Bone Machine Brew.
Bone Machine, I haven't heard from Bone Machine for a while. I've seen a few of their beers a while back.
I'll be surprised if Hackney don't win it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I'm surprised to see Purity in there. Oh no, my bad. Purity are out in Warwickshire. Why did I think they were? I think I've just seen them in London quite. Ubu.
Right.
Isn't Purity's Ubu?
Yeah. Voting for this group closes on the 28th of 3rd at 12 p.m.
Right.
I haven't got much to comment on them. Bone Machine is ringing a bell for some reason.
I don't think these scripts are even up yet, Rasco. We should maybe leave this till next week. But anyway, we've only got 3 more to go, haven't we? Because it goes to Z.
Yes. Yeah, let's do this, because the next group is very interesting. Group V. Team Utopia.
Utopian, yeah.
Mate, and the next 3 are killers. Brew York.
Uh-huh.
Wildcard.
Uh-huh.
Burning Sky.
That is a big group. That is a big group, actually, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I think Brew York will win it because they got a better media machine.
Yeah.
I think Wildcard should win it. But there you go. That's my opinion.
No, see, I like Wildcard. I don't think they've got I don't think they've got a bigger range. It's like you say about media machine, to be fair. I also think in terms of beer range, Wildcard have probably got they've got a smaller like core range and additional beer. So I think they're probably less well known. They should be more well known of the London breweries in the whole competition. But I think Brew York.
Agreed.
I don't know. I've not had Burning Sky. I've seen them about, and I know Team Utopia haven't had any. I think Brew York probably will just edge it from Utopian, Burning Sky, maybe a little bit of the Dark Horses in there. Yeah, Wildcard should be hard. That might be another 25-30 split kind of group, you know?
Yeah, they're another one I'm going to keep an eye on when I see the results. So, for the next one, Group W is LHG Brewing Co.
Left-handed giant. I didn't realise they were a UK brewery. I thought they was overseas, but they're in Bristol apparently. My bad. Sorry, left-handed.
Okay.
I've seen the beers about. I don't know, not had any left-handed giant, but anyway, carry on, sorry, yep.
Brightside Brew.
Brightside, I don't think we know Brightside. They're in Greater Manchester, apparently.
Right, Neptune Brewery.
Neptune Brewery, I got in just this week, Neptune. Ooh.
Okay.
But some, from Liverpool.
Ampersand Brew Co.
Ampersand, so they have the big and on the cans. I haven't seen them around for a while, but I do know them. I've
heard of Neptune. I got to pass on that one, mate.
I don't know. I got their beers in this week. I saw it was last week. I had one on Wednesday from Neptune, the Molly, the Irish Stout. Just because
Lucy's a big fan of LHG.
Left-handed giant. Okay, that's my ignorance. I thought they were an American company.
Could you give us some info on them, because we were lost on that one?
No, I've heard of them. From Bristol. They've got a dark mild as well.
There you go. Milds are back in fashion.
I've seen a lot of their beers about. They're pretty well respected in craft beer, I think. Pretty well known.
Yes. I'm going to have to pass, but Lucy, if you've got anything to say about them, please let us know. Anyone out there, please let us know. Watching live or recorded. Group X. Abyss Brewing. Black Iris Brewer. Billa K Brew.
Ricky.
And this one, Billericay. Oh, Jesus, really? And St. Austell Brew.
I shouldn't laugh. That's the probably the favourite of that group, I would imagine. St. Austell, again, coming from a real ale background, they have ventured into the craft beer market. You might not have noticed, but they have done a couple of more craft beers.
They have always been there and thereabouts. They're quite clever in what they've done. They've been interviewed by the Craft Beer Channel at least more than once.
Yeah.
I believe Simon from Real Ale has also interviewed them, possibly even Hopsime. Don't quote me on that. They're not media shy. I remember doing a post on them on a Saturday night in the Oval Pub, and they responded within 10 minutes. So they're quite active. They know they have to reach out. They're quite adaptive. They know how to reach out, and they know, quite frankly, there's no real difference between real ale and craft beer. I mean, the difference is vague, to put it lightly.
Good point. Yeah.
I should simply say no. I don't know. I think St. Austell is going to win that. I don't think St. Austell will win the competition.
I would probably go, despite St. Austell being there, and I agree with you, I think they'll take that group, but I like Black Iris. I've only had one or two of their beers up in Crewe, but they're from the northwest area. So I'd probably go with Black Iris and that, because I don't think St. Austell will need my vote. But I don't know enough about Abyss and Billericay. So
Abyss is ringing a bell. Hang on. Of course I know Abyss. Yes, they did a rum-coated beer back in 2018. No, 2018. Me and Jim, the cameraman, couldn't get enough of it. Had a very interesting logo of almost like a Aboriginal picture, and he arguably had his Wonka out. He was gorgeous.
No. You're thinking of Cern Abbas, which is the brewery in Wiltshire or Dorset, which has got the logo of the chalk man in the hillside. Which has come out. No, that's Sir Abbas. That's the one that did the rum and coconut porter,
Yes.
I think. Yeah, so that's Sir Abbas.
Yes.
And I haven't seen them I have not seen them in any of the groups, actually. Probably would have voted for them, so that's another one to think about for next year. Still about.
I would have voted. I would have voted for them. I don't think they get enough credit, if I'm honest.
No. That rum and coconut porter was amazing.
Yeah.
Abbas apparently are down in down in Brighton and Lewis. They're doing a big fundraising push to extend the brewery, I think, at the moment, if I remember rightly. Yeah, they're doing a crowdfunder.
Black Iris are based up in Nottingham.
Nottingham? Oh, wow,
Yeah.
okay. Northwest. Like I say, I've had a couple of Black Iris. There was a blackcurranty one we had, which was like a blackcurrant pale ale. Really nice. I don't normally like blackcurrant that much.
Fair enough. I haven't got much else to say about that. I think St. Austell will take it, but who knows? And this is one for you, Group Y. Thornbridge.
Yeah.
Redemption. Alphabet Brewing. Alpha Delta Beer.
Yeah.
I know of 3 of them. If I'm honest, I've had a few alphabets and they're not wowed me. They've been all right. Redemption, big cask players, quite well known, and I like Redemption a lot. Thornbridge, unless you've been living under a rock and not really into beer, you would have heard of them. The creators of Jaipur and some of your favourite sweet drinks. Disco. Had a great experience with them.
Yeah, the salty caramel Lucaria was my beer of the year, wasn't it? And I got them in. I got them in. A couple of orders from Thornbridge because you've got the Market Porter, you've got the chocolate stout from them. I think that they're probably favourites for that group, although Redemption are pretty well known. London brewery, big in got a brewery in Tottenham. I'd vote Thornbridge there. I would imagine you'd agree with me.
I got to admit, mate, I'm split.
What with Redemption?
Yeah, I am very much split.
Yeah.
Alpha Delta, apologies, I don't know you.
Again, heard of them. Got around to getting any of their stuff in yet?
Yeah. I can't choose. Voting on this group closes on the 30th of this month at 12 p.m. And that will remain the same for the next group, Group Z, which I'll get to in a minute because that's going to be very topical. I'm splitting hairs on that one. I like Thornbridge a lot. I like Redemption a lot. I couldn't. It's one to keep an eye on. I think Thornbridge will win it because of their media machine, if I'm honest. I hate to say that. I wish it was all about quality of beer, but no, it isn't. It is going to be how active you are on social media.
Yeah.
And there you go. I can't choose, mate. I'm sorry. I'm doing you. I'm being very indecisive.
I'm going Thornbridge on that one. I am on that one.
Do you think Thornbridge will win it?
The whole thing?
Yeah.
No, probably not. Probably not. I think it's a very good shout. They'll get very close, I think. Or they should do.
I haven't seen Handspatch and Hobbs Day.
No, they're in it. They are there. Didn't we do that? No.
No.
They're coming up. They're coming up. It doesn't just go to Z, by the way.
Oh,
There's
really?
28, 29 and 30 to go.
Oh, my word.
In fact, 31, 32.
All right, let's do it.
It's 32 group. Come on, we'll have to go. We're gonna have to hurry up. We've done an hour and a half already.
Yeah, fine. Oh, whatever. Yeah, we've got to do it because I don't know if I'll be on the show next week.
Okay.
So, yeah. Group Z, Titanic. Have you heard of them, by the way?
I haven't heard a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I thought you might have. Anarchy Brewing and Morn Brewers and Willem Brewery. I think
that's a tough group.
Yeah, it's a very tough group. I think Anarchy probably win it. I think Titanic should win it. There you go.
Okay, I think probably Titanic. Anarchy and Wylam is quite an interesting matchup because they're both from the same area, both up the northeast, both well-known, well-respected craft brewers. I would say Wylam were probably a bit on top of Anarchy, maybe. Probably got more well-known beers. I think again, I have had Anarchy when I was up in the northeast. I've had Anarchy on tap. Some fairly big beers. I've wanted to get Wylam in for ages, and I've never quite got around to it. I've seen bottle shops from the northeast. I want to try their there's a lemon pale ale they do, and again the name as always escaped me. And Mourne Mountains, I've got a couple of Mourne Mountains stouts in this week because of the Irish connection. Some really interesting looking beers coming out of there. They're only sort of really come to prominence in the last year. That's an interesting group because of Anarchy and Wylam being in it, but I think probably Titanic is favourite, maybe. But I think also Wylam, amongst craft beer fans, Wylam's a big thing.
I think you may have a good point with Wylam. You know, the fan following. What will the fan machine do? That is why I think Anarchy will take it.
Well, they've got a big fan base too.
Yeah. I
think they're big kind of metal fans, I think, judging by some of their pump clips. Kind of like... But yeah, interesting group, that one. Next one's quite a big group as well. Group 27.
Totally. Rooster, Brewco, Wild Child, and Northern Brew, and Iron Peer. I think that's going to be between Northern Brew, Iron Peer, and Rooster. I think Iron Peer will take it.
I don't. I think North have got far too much of a following because they're in supermarkets. They're well known. They're expanding. They're just expanding into a new brew space and tap room in Leeds. I think they've got a big. I think they're a big presence. Wild Child are also, I think, up in Yorkshire, either Leeds or York. I'm not sure. Again, another brewery I want to get in. Wild Child. They've got some good pastry stouts I want to try. Roosters I've known. We had this discussion about Roosters the other week, but we have definitely had them on tap around and about. Iron Peer, I think we only know Iron Peer because of Camra festivals. I don't think they're as well known, certainly as not as well known as North. I think North will take that group fairly comfortably. Again, that's a big Yorkshire matchup with Roosters, Wild Child and North. That's a big matchup. Iron Peer are Kent, I think, aren't they? Gravesend. We like Iron Peer. We've had several good pints of theirs at Camra festivals, but I think North will take that quite comfortably.
Fair enough. Hello, beer in beautiful places.
Thanks for popping in.
Group. I don't know what this is. And the next group.
28.
Okay. Brew Yonder Duration Beer.
Yeah.
McCoy's Brewery. McCoy's. CR Brewery.
Okay, CR Brewery is Castle Rock, another Nottingham brewery.
Fuck me.
Again, I've seen a lot of their pump clips in pubs, so I know some of their beers. McColl's is the only one I've got in. I mean, last summer they did amazing Beet de Garde, which was like a Belgian kind of style ale, but brewed with beetroot. And we had the discussion at the time because you said about having a beetroot beer. And their North and South Porter is a really, really good porter, actually. 330 cans. I thought I was going to get some more of those in.
Disco. Sorry, Lucy's asking. Sorry, who did you say is in Gravesend?
Oh, Iron Pier.
Iron Pier, right?
Yeah, worth checking out. Some good beers from there. Again, a big cask brewery.
Yeah,
A few of their pints about.
Yes.
Yeah, Brew Yonder, Duration, McColl's, and Castle Rock. It's a tough one to pull. Brew Yonder have got some good media going about. I've seen them quite a lot. Duration. Is that another Bristol brew? Oh, Norfolk, yeah. Yeah, Duration have got some good stuff out and about. Again, haven't had anything apart from McColl's in the last year. I actually vote for McColl's, having had some of their beers, and they've got a lot of really good beers out in the last year. So,
right. I think Brew Yonder are going to take that quite comfortably.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's another agreement. I've lost my pen, so I can't do the bell.
Ding, 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 ding. All right, next group, Queer Brewing. DB Brewing.
It's double barrel, isn't it? Yeah, DB.
Could be. Abbeydale Beers.
Yeah.
Steam Machine IPA.
Steam Machine. Well, yeah, we know Steam Machine.
Yeah. Queer Brewing, I think I've had. Abbey, sound familiar. Steam Machine, yes, I've also sound familiar.
So Steam Machine is that time I came. One of the times I came to Art and Craft, and I had to dash and get one of the last trains home. And you said, "Here, try this," and it was a custard stout, the yellow can. That was Steam Machine.
Yeah.
Haven't had anything since, but I really enjoyed that beer, and I've seen some of their beers look really good. Abbeydale I've got in, but I haven't quite got around to doing a direct order from Abbeydale. They're another Yorkshire brewery. I have got Abbeydale, and I'll pick them up at Beer Asylum because they get a regular order in Beer Asylum, which is well handy for me because I can just wander down the road and pick up some Abbeydale. And again, a lot of big beers, and I think a fairly well respected up and coming brewery. Yorkshire doing a lot of good beers. Double barreled is one. I always get double barreled and brewed by numbers mixed up. I don't know. I think it's just because of D's and stuff. But they've got some big beers. And again, Queer Brewing is another one that's. I have had their beers. I think I had one of the early beers they did in Michela over in Shoreditch. But they've done a lot of. They've done a big tie up with Cloudwater. They've been brewing it, and they've now bought. You all right? Oh, that'll look good on screen. Apologise. Bless you. Sorry. Yeah, Queer Brewing have just bought their own core range out. They bought 3 beers out that brewed at Cloudwater. Yep. I haven't. There's a Pilsner. I think there's a Pale Ale and one other. I haven't got round to because they're on the list of ones to check out. I think you could probably get them from Art and Craft. I think Art and Craft have got them in. One for the road. Way, here it comes. There you go.
Thank you. D&B Vinyl. Good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, so I don't know about that group. I would, because I haven't had any Queer Brewing beer, or I have had some, but not recently. Again, I'd like to try them, but I think I would vote personally for Abbeydale because I've had several of their beers. That is also a group of death for me because I know about all of those 4 breweries.
Mate, if you think that's a good group of death, you see what's coming next.
Oh, the next group is a killer. It really is. Well, probably, Yeah, definitely.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, Group 30 is difficult.
Yeah.
I mean,
Group
it's
30.
easier for me, and it's easier for you. Well, no, it's harder for you because of. Go on, announce Group 30.
And since Group 29 and upwards, it is voting is closing on the 1st of April, 12 p.m. Group, this is just a killer. More beer.
No, Mobley Brewhouse.
Mobley beers. Yep.
Yeah.
Brass Castle. Oh, fuck.
Have you heard of them?
Spatch. Yeah, just a bit. Aaron Spatch Hobbs Day and Colonel. That is just.
That's tough for you, isn't it? That is tough for you. That is tough for you.
I'll be honest. Like, you've got 3 contenders there, which could win this competition, and one of them's going.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think there's 3 contenders to win it. I think there's 3 very, very strong contenders in that group. Mobley, by the way, are probably the underdogs there because less people have heard of them. I've got a Mobley Brewhouse. I've had a couple of Mobley Brewhouse beers. They're from the West Midlands, I believe. So I wouldn't write them off. I just don't know enough about them. I've got a stout of theirs in the cupboard that I should get around to doing. But, I mean, for me, I think Colonel are the main ones there that everybody's probably going to vote for. Anspatch is what everybody probably should vote for. I obviously, I'm staying loyal to Brass Castle there because they were my brewery of the year last year just for the sheer output of really good, interesting, innovative, unusual to a certain extent beers. And that's why I say you've heard of them, because you've heard me shout about them. Every month they bring out a new beer. They've got a really great base range. You've had the Bad Kitty, the vanilla porter, so you know what they're like. And every month I'll probably get an order for. I think it's every month, but yeah, I mean the one I had last week, the saffron and black pepper Belgian ale was just phenomenal. I've had a couple of ones I've not been so keen on, but I really like what they do. They haven't got a massive media presence, but they've got a really good web shop. They do put some good tweets out when they get their beers out. I really like Brass Castle, and it is tough for me being up against Anspatch and Hobday because we really like Anspatch and Hobday. You sing about the Colonel more than me because Colonel just quietly go about what they do. They're so well regarded in the industry, and they're big players in the craft, developing the craft beer scene. So that is a really difficult group. Really, I would have to vote Brass Castle there just because of the sheer amount I've got in, and that's no disrespect. And I'm sorry to Anspatch and Hobday, who I would love to vote for in that group, but I would have to go Brass Castle.
For me, this is an absolute killer. Brass Castle we got a huge amount of respect for. Anspatch Hobday, I'm drinking. I'm on my second Anspatch this evening. Colonel and Anspatch actually they're not identical, but they have a few things in common. They like to do historical beers, and instead of just coming with new flavors, find beers of the past and recipes of the past and bring them back.
Absolutely.
But you're right about Colonel. They're a brewery have no intention of taking over the world. They just want to do good beer and carry on.
You're right. I use the word simple beers. I don't mean that and plain and simple, but Anspatch just bring out the porter, the lager. They've sort of developed that a little bit more into they have they've got like a juniper ghost, and they've got the chili chocolate style. But then Colonel do that a little bit as well. They have a saison. Yep. They're fairly plain and simple packaging, but like the Colonel more so. Obviously, Anspatch have got the artwork and stuff like that, and we love that they put the employees on the artwork, cartoonized. So for you, that is a very difficult decision, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it from people bottle shops who sell the kernel. You know, their marketing and you know, their labeling actually hurts their sales, especially when you've got a range of kernels in. And I find that's a brave and bold decision from them, and they're just relying on their reputation of quality.
Yeah,
I'm
that's we agree on, you know.
yeah, I'm gonna go with Anspatch, but if I'm honest, if it was all about quality, tough one. I honestly, in terms of quality of beer, I think Anspatch and Colonel could take it, but
Yeah,
I think because I don't think Colonel are going to flex their media muscle. I think the cult following, I make it sound evil, but it's not. The following of Colonel come out and strong. I think Anspatch are going to take that group.
Well, I think Colonel will take it because I think there's probably more well known than Anspatch. I think what they both kind of product. I think Anspatch do it slightly better because they have more aesthetic appeal on their cans. The artwork is better because Colonel keep it very simple, very base, just the brown label with the name and the beer name and the ABV. If it was just down to Anspatch and Colonel, I think I would probably go Anspatch. But I think Colonel have got that kind of reputation, that industry kind of lead. But for me, that group is Brass Castle for me.
Fair enough.
That's just personally. It's a very difficult group, that. And I want to know more. I've got to check out more about Mobberley Brewhouse. I've heard some good things about them too. So that's a difficult group, that one.
Yeah. Group, whatever number it is.
Only one. Only one
there
more.
You go.
31.
Arbor Ales. 8 Arch Brewing.
Yeah.
Squawk Brewing.
Yeah.
Squawk. And Amity.
Amity,
Brewing.
yeah.
Pass.
Amity and Leeds, I've heard of the name and I've not seen too many of their beers about, but I have heard of the name. They're Leeds, apparently. Squawk, I've seen the name about, but don't know anything about them. 8 Arch has some really interesting beers. It's another one that's fairly plain and simple packaging. It's like a black can with a colour on the top and very simple beer name, beer style.
Yeah, I have seen them actually.
Squawker in Manchester. Again, heard of them. Arbor Ales, 8 Archer in Dorset. Okay, need to check them out more and see if I can get some stuff from them. Arbor Ales are out and about. I think Arbor Ales is probably the big brewery in that group. I think they're the winner there because pint cans. If you got good beer, why not put it in a pint can? Little bit bucks the trend for the industry. Everybody else is doing 440s. They're doing 568 mil cans, pint cans, and some good beers. They got a good chocolate stout. I had the Fate's Alaska, another brewery out of Bristol. I think they have. I'm sure I've seen them with 440 cans as well, but pint cans, brilliant, and especially on the price as well. I think Arbor are winning that one. I said pass earlier. Actually, no. I agree. Arbor will probably win that. It's tough because I haven't had the other three, so I'm just vaguely aware of the other three. But having had Arbor Ales, I think they're probably the winners there. Yeah. I think that's true. But we'll see. Who knows? I did not realise there were so many groups in this round, to be fair. I think we would have done this differently if we'd realised that. But sorry about that. Anyone watching? Started with so many breweries in the heats. Obviously, that's just how group stages work. So group 2 is the final one, as far as I can see. It is, yes. Tooth and Claw Brew. Yeah. Beatnik Beer. Beatnik, yeah. Beatnik's Republic. Yep. Yeah, Beatnik's Republic.
Gun Brewery, sorry. And I don't know, some brewery called Verdant. Have you heard of them?
Well, funny enough, I said Verdant earlier, and it's come through in the last one, yeah.
Have a comment from Lucy. Which 4 breweries would be the hardest to put up against one another? Mega Killer Group.
Masco, let's come back to that question. That's a great question. Let's just do this. Let's run through Group 32 first of all, because I don't think it's too difficult on this one. To finish this off.
I'd like to see Beatnik win it. I have had them.
Yeah. They do some interesting beers. Gun Brewery, I think we've had a couple of pints of Gun at festivals somewhere. Yeah. Could be wrong.
I think Verdun is going to walk it, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I think we agree on that. Tooth and Claw is quite an interesting one. I've seen their stuff about, and again, not had any. Another one up the northeast, so I've got to check them out. I've had a lot of quite good beers from the northeast. Beatnik's Republic, Manchester. Okay, yeah, wasn't sure. All right, but yeah, I think Verdant will probably sneak that one.
I'd put Verdun down to win the competition, to be honest.
Yeah.
One of the potentials to win the competition.
Well, there you go. A comprehensive roundup. We've done all 32 groups. Some very interesting groups there. And coming back to Lucy's question, I think we've already seen some groups where there's a tough 3 or 4 in the category. So, what would be your 4, Rasko? Would you have the harshest? I think. Well, it will come down to the last 32. Basically, all of the last 32 will have hard groups.
In all honesty, I think we might have seen it.
Yeah, maybe.
Because there were some absolutely, groups of absolute pain and death.
Yeah.
And what was that group where we thought it would be like 25, 25, 25?
Well, there was 2 or 3 of them, but it was because there was 3 London breweries in.
That's right.
So when you get, obviously in the regional groups, there's been a lot of local breweries up against each other. But like the actual World Cups, there's always a couple of smaller, unfancied teams. But when you get, a big brewery go through and into the next round, there has been a couple of groups of death there. I think the harshest is probably the London breweries being in groups together. So I think Anspach and Colonel in a group together is really difficult. You put Anspach, Colonel, Exhale. I don't think Exhale got through. That would be a difficult one because it's all south. So if you go something like Anspach, Colonel, and then probably maybe Exhale and Pressure Drop.
Yeah,
that would be a killer group. I don't know which one to that on.
You put Anspach, Colonel, Verdant, and Burning Sky together. That would just be anarchy.
Yeah, but you're not going so much like for like, because you can't put like for like Verdant with Colonel, because they're doing 2 very different things almost. Anarchy, like you say, if you put the Northeast breweries together, you've got Anarchy, Willem, probably Full Circle, and McColl's arguably, or S43. S43 didn't get through.
That's a good point.
So a lot of those Northeast breweries who are doing fairly similar things in different ways and have got different kind of marketing, different social media presence. The Manchester breweries, anything going up against Cloudwater, and there's a lot of stuff going that you could put up against Cloudwater in Manchester would be a very, very difficult group. I don't know, but Cloudwater didn't get through because they got up against.
Yeah, but the Blackjack rallied together and beat them. So there you go. So there's always the possibility of an outside knockout punch.
Yeah,
You know,
that's why I don't like these things, because it's so like random who sees it, who votes for it. I find it, even having gone through this list, I find it very difficult to vote for some guys ahead of the other just on random kind of abstract possibilities, especially as you haven't, like, I haven't had a lot of these breweries beers, and the ones I have had, I can say like they're all good.
yes.
But somebody from the northeast, not knowing any London breweries, probably wouldn't vote for the London breweries in the groups because they might not have heard of them. Maybe, you know, it's although there's a lot of London breweries, like a lot of breweries now in the last year when they got the web shops are getting other.
I'll be back in a second. Keep
From
talking. I'm talking with you. I'm still
here. They're selling other breweries through their web shops. Because income stream. You know, it's almost like a collab of sales. So I see a lot of breweries from London up north, and I'm like, oh, actually, I want to get that brewery in, but I can't because I find it very difficult if I'm buying I think I did it with Aura. I thought Aura's their lemon pale and their tiramisu stout, and I saw it up north. Actually, I got it from Lancashire Bottle Shop, and I felt bad that, like, beers from London have gone all the way up north only to come all the way back down south to me. But it's a good thing in terms of local bottle shops selling beers from other areas. So if you see a London beer up north, brilliant. Another really good one is Hops and Dots, who are really meant to get in. They've got a really nice looking coffee porter that I've wanted to get in, and I've quite been able to make up an order. And we both follow each other on Instagram, and they always like our posts. So I really need to get stuff. They sell some London breweries because they've expanded the shop to sell other breweries. And it happens a lot in Yorkshire. I see a lot of the Brass Castle have started doing a lot of local Yorkshire breweries in.
Yeah.
So I got Atom breweries via Brass Castle, and then because there was a couple of Atom beers, they got a web finally sorted out. So I got some Atom beers, but picked up a couple of Brass Castle beers I wanted. So Yorkshire would be another really tough group. You know, if I'd seen Brass Castle win with any of the Leeds breweries, you know, Brass Castle, North, Turning Point, Northern Monk would be a hell of a group. It'd be an impossible group. Brass Castle, Turning Point, Northern. What would you do? You know?
Brewdog weren't in there. That's interesting. But, you know, it could have been like Cloudwater eliminated in the early stages, and good. But at the same time, the big media machine that Brewdog have probably weren't interested. This probably went below their radar.
They would have been in the Scottish groups if they were, and maybe because they've got as many detractors, Brewdog, as plus points. You know. Yes.
Well, you know, they do.
There's a question, Radcliffe, from Blue Nose Beer Reviews. Is that Woodford Wherry American jobby? I'm not. I know Woodford Wherry is a Suffolk beer from, again, name escapes me.
Lucy, I'd like a bedtime story. Yeah, of course, always. Oh God! Look who's here!
Can't you wear a Verdant T-shirt? Is that Woodford Wherry American jobby?
Yeah, they did an American can. Well, no, if you say so, pal.
Well, no, is he not talking about your inspection update can?
Yeah. Well, right. Yes. Well, no. The American brown. Yes.
Yeah. No, that's the inspection update. That's the inspection update American brown.
Yeah.
Woodford is a brewery, isn't it? Woodford's Wherry is the beer.
If you say so. Pass.
You homebrewed a Woodford's Brewery, didn't you?
Oh yeah, a couple of times, in fact.
A long time ago, I admit. Yeah.
A couple of years ago. Yeah, that was nice.
Woodford is a Suffolk brewery, yeah, but Woodford Wherry is their main beer. We've had it on tap so many times, places.
Okay, yeah.
Not seen that. I've not seen anything from Woodford's apart from Wherry and Nelson's Revenge. For a lot, I didn't even know Woodford's did cans.
Yes. So next week, I believe it's the Craft Beer Channel's cask beer thingy-my-job with 5 points.
Yes,
please get involved. Please try and support cask beer. I'm a bit disappointed because it is highly unlikely I will be involved in this whatsoever, and I was going to have the TV to myself from 6 p.m. and crack open some cask and then do our show, which was going to be fun.
indeed.
I'm unlikely to be even on our show next week, so...
Well, I'm going to have to hold before. I'll have to find some people to come on and chat with us.
Yeah, sure. Do that. So yeah, that's a kind of shock to me. Maybe things might change. Who knows? Yes. So yeah, please get involved in cask beer. Use the appropriate hashtags. Roger Proltz said something good about cask beer this week. Cask beer is the UK's craft beer. And I thought, yeah, it's brilliant. Cool, Bob.
I'll just get Bob Mortimer on the show. That would be lovely, to be fair. I'm not sure I could handle Bob Mortimer on a show that would go in all sorts of random tangents. I've seen Bob Mortimer's. I do love Bob Mortimer's. Like, what was his like regional kind of sales? He's like, oh yeah, just buy, buy, routine.
Yes, and that I don't know look back to the
Hello.
Indeed. All right, hand on heart, who do you think is going to win that World Beer Cup competition?
I think it'll probably pick a final four. I think probably Pilot and Siren are strong contenders to get into the final four. Probably along with Dare and Verdant. I think that's what will happen. Yes, Harry, that's what I'm talking about with Bob Mortimer's train videos with the phone calls. Go on, Masco. Pick your final four. What do you think?
Verdant, Dare. Siren and Spatch.
You just want Anspatch to be in. I mean, I want Anspatch to be in there as well, just because it's a favourite London brewery. It's your local brewery. It would be fun. I don't think, in terms of reach and amount they produce, I think is going to be bigger than you say Dare or Verdant or even Siren. Wild Beer. Where are Wild Beer in that list? Maybe they didn't get through either.
They did not get through.
Okay. I thought they had a bigger presence.
No, mate.
Wow.
No. I don't think they have. I think they've done all the business things right, but they're not raved about enough within beer circles, if I'm honest.
That's a great show. Yeah, Polly's. Were Polly's in there? I'm not sure Polly's were in there. But Pomona Island, maybe, in that third one.
Pomona Island were, but no, Polly's were not. Blue Nose, were Wish we got more Anspach here.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey,
I think that's the other thing, Rasko, about Anspach. Why I've not ordered any Anspach. All my Anspach and Holiday beers have come from Beer Asylum down the road. I'd love to order from Anspach direct, but they do everything in 4-packs, which, again, probably from a business point of view, and Harry, being a head brewer himself from Blue Nose Beer, will know more about how breweries put things out in sales. But as a consumer or as a reviewer, I want to buy things in pairs more than in 4-packs. So I don't want to, if they bring out 4 new beers, I don't necessarily want to buy 16 beers. I want to buy 2 of each. And Anspach put everything out in 4s, which is great as far as it goes, but it doesn't really suit my buying capability and the way I buy beers.
I haven't obviously been in the
past 2 hours. I can't even believe we've actually been on for 2 hours, to be fair, Lucy. Have we done that, Rasko?
Yeah.
Because we got 30
again
to go on about. That's out. Also, I've worked out the schoolboy error of why I'm not sure about this beer. It's because I poured it into the same glass. I did have another glass to pour it into. So it's a peanut butter marshmallow imperial has gone into the Black Forest Stout glass. I'm putting a bit of cherry off it still, because that was such a strong cherry flavour on the Black Forest. And again, I'm not talking artificial or natural, but it's not unpleasant. It's still a very good beer. So
yeah, Lucy's just said something brilliant. Actually, I might have to change my list. Maybe I meant pressure drop. I don't know anymore.
Pressure drop. Yeah, pressure drop.
Yes.
Another one up, you know. It's a difficult final.
And Blue Nose says we do things mixed packs, but throughout lockdown the past year we've put in the careful, so haven't brewed new beers.
Yeah.
That is not something I'm surprised to hear, to be honest. Being conservative is always quite clever in business.
Yeah,
so fair play to you.
I understand, like you say, in business, Rasko, that's when you're talking about markups and, you know, profit margins. If you're just selling one beer, you're not going to make so much as if you're selling 4, so you sell 4-packs together, or some is selling 6 or 12s. And I have looked at Harry's Brewery, and yeah, exactly as he says, there wasn't enough there for me to make up an order. Good night, Lucy. Off to sleep. Thank you for being along for the ride and joining in, and there's some great suggestions there as well. Big love to you. See you maybe next week. Superb.
Take care. Thank you.
But that's what I was going to say to Harry. I was looking on the website for Dragon Soup, and I've got to take a walk because up in Oldfield Circus, according to the Dragon Soup website, there's a stockist up near me. So I'm up for checking out some Dragon Soup, Harry, because I saw your review the other day, the live Dragon Soup one, and looks very interesting. Rasko, check out Dragon Soup.
Okay.
It could be a very interesting Saturday night stream, no?
Mate, it's not likely to get me arrested, or isn't it?
Yes, literally, it could get you arrested. That's how mad it is. I'm sure there's a stockist in your area too, because I saw quite a lot of stockists on there. But yeah, no, Google Dragon Soup, Rasko.
No, I'm not. Fuck. I'm almost finished my 3rd beer.
Put it this way. He says it fucking destroyed me. Yeah, that's why I want to try it, because I don't think those kind of beers affect me. I do drink energy drinks, but that caffeine thing, the caffeine hit never normally affects. I can have coffee and go to sleep. So yeah, Rasko, Dragon Soup is this mad kind of, I'm not even sure it's a beer, it's what they describe it as. So it's like it's a cross between, it's an alcoholic energy drink. So it's like 7.5%, 8% of fruited, caffeined madness. And so, yeah, Oldfield Beers and Wines, which is on the way to Greenford, are listed as a stockist. So I've got to wander up there. It's only a mile away. So I've got to wander up there and see if they've got them. Depending on the price. Website is like £4 a can. So yeah, I'm gonna have a look at that. I don't think I've got a one stop anywhere near me down in northwest London. So I'm gonna have a look. I've got to get out and do more walking as exercise. I haven't really got out enough in the last year, so I'm going to have a look at some Dragon Soup. That will be an interesting night, I think.
It's 5 coffees and 8% of madness. Oh fuck!
Yeah, I think that in my sleep, Harry. Yeah, so I really enjoyed your reviews of it, and I saw Raggy do it as well. Yeah. Interesting. And what I said, one of them, hopefully, I think the one I can get if they do actually stock it, because you get this on websites, they say they've stocked it, they might have like bought one order or something and never got it again. But one of them's bright green as well. I want the bright green one.
Fair enough.
Okay. I did have a look online. That was it. There was a place up in Scotland, Beer Supermarket, I think it is. They had them, so I nearly ordered them for them. But if I can wander up the road and not have to pay delivery, I'm going to wander up there during the week. If not, I might have to buy them online and see it, because it does look an evening of interesting fun, and I don't think I'll get arrested. Hopefully, the bright green one is the Venom. Is that the 15% one, or was that the? That was the 8.5% one you did the other night. So trust me, Rasco, what could possibly go wrong? 8.5% heavily caffeinated alcoholic energy drink. I'm always up for this kind of madness.
Indeed. Well, I'm glad you are. You and Harry can keep talking, mate. I am shattered.
You do look a little rough around the edges there, son, but you have been working hard all week, so.
Mate, you wouldn't believe. And it's going to continue for the next 2-3 weeks. So there you go. I wish everyone. Hello. Oh, someone just. I just want to read this. Just drank a bottle of wine, but definitely need to branch out with my beers. Yes, look at our beer archive. Take anything from our list. It's on Twitter and on Instagram. Yeah, look it up.
Your wine, but yeah, I will always give you beer recommendations. Don't you worry.
There's some 15% Dragon Soups. Yes, I'm sure they are.
Extra special quality. Quality is such an abstract word in that sentence, isn't it? Quality.
Yes. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to be here next week, so I wish everyone happiness and love and happy beers and loving beers. And
let's go. I sense you're trying to wrap the stream up. Are you trying to say goodnight?
I'm trying to say goodnight. You can stay if you want.
All right, fair play, sir. Definitely thank you to everybody for joining in. There's been quite a few people joining in tonight. Thank you for Time for a Brew podcast for doing the World Cup of breweries on Twitter, and also promoting us, because we said we was going to talk about this. Didn't actually realise there was 30 odd categories to talk about. Thank you to everybody else, Kushal, Harry, Bruno, beer reviews. Thank you for Craig, Kent, beer reviews, Raggy for popping in earlier. Thank you to Lucy and Sarah for coming and saying hello. And hopefully we'll see you next week, when who knows what will happen. I'll probably be here. Rasco may or may not, and hopefully somebody else will be. So,
indeed. Take care. Great. I'll see you all when I see you. Believe enough.
It's good chatting to you as always. Cheers, my man.
Indeed, man. All the best.
Cheers, everybody.
Yeah, bye-bye. 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 Oh, yeah. Do that thing.
Cheers.